Chateau Elan, and we are sitting with the winemaker himself.
The man himself.
Yes, Simon. I'm
Simone. You made like a mix of Italian English. Simone.
Okay, I'm pronouncing. We're trying to pronounce his name correctly.
It's good.
Yeah.
Say your name correctly.
Say his name correctly.
Simone.
Simone. There we go.
You were close.
I'm close. So this place is gorgeous. Anybody that's in Nashville, you've got to visit this place. Not only is the wine incredible. But it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful place. Wonderful place to stay. The hospitality's been brilliant. Despite COVID, people have been so sweet to us. We're definitely getting that southern hospitality, and he has been giving us so much cool information about the winery. So yeah, the first question we wanted to ask you was, how did you end up being the winemaker at Chateau Elan?
It was probably a long story, but to make it short, I decided to move out from Italy. That time I was in Sicily, and I wanted to experience a little bit more of international winemaking. I was before in Australia, then in Sicily for 7 years. I said, okay, let's move one more time. And US at that time, Virginia, was looking for experienced winemaker to develop their own Virginia wine program. So I moved in Virginia. I stayed 4 years, very important years, because I could learn and see and touch what are the challenges in the East Coast winemaking. And then the call arrived one day where I was actually looking to move out, and I received a phone call from Chateau Elan executives, and they were basically asking you know, what I was thinking about coming in Georgia, and I just Googled while I was with them on the phone, Chateau Elan, and I saw it. I said, yeah, that's not a bad place, you know. And, so I came here and I saw the potential, and that's why I decided to move here and permanently develop a program of winemaking and wine in general that was worthy, you know, the place.
What sparked your love for winemaking and creating wine?
Again, it's something that it wasn't love at first sight. I think I always been passionate about the food industry.
Mm-hmm.
I was going into a catering school back in Italy, a very important catering school for restaurant, etc. And I just, obviously wine is an extremely important part of the puzzle over there, mostly in Italy and mostly Piedmont in northern Italy. And so as soon as I started touching the subject of chemistry applied to winemaking and everything about the winemaking, and I just got hooked. And so I did my first vintages when I was 16 years old, then 17, and 18, and then I just, from there, I knew it was, you know, I just loved it. And of course, before it was all a learning process of more, again, down-to-earth skills, again, chemistry and microbiology, etc. But once you master that, it's all about creation and yeah, creativity and making things, transforming things. And I think what kept me in that world is that factor of creating stuff or envisioning things and make it happen, and obviously the tight connection with territory and
true, like a true artist. And we've been talking with him for the past hour, and you just get this passion for what he does, and we're tasting it in the wine right now. And what are we drinking right now?
We're drinking a specific wine made in Italy for us and imported over here. And when I say made in Italy, it's always a collaboration between myself and the wineries. Specifically, this is made in Piemonte. It's a Moscato d'Asti, original, with appellation, etc. And although we could grow Moscato in America and make it, the recipe of Moscato d'Asti is an original thing. And you need a lot of know-how to come up with a product like this that you can drink all day long, doesn't matter, and it's so refreshing, it's so nice. It's very tough to reproduce a wine like this outside from those hills.
Right.
And so one thing that is important is always, I think, the personal touch. So that's why I make this wine with them. And specifically, the guy is the husband of the cousin of my ex-girlfriend.
Oh.
So there is like, there are like, you know, connections that goes beyond the simply collaboration.
Right.
You know?
Well, and this bottle. It's a really, really cool label. And
it's delicious.
It's amazing.
It's
like
really,
we started sipping it, and
I mean, it's 11 o'clock in the morning, and it is
yes, it is
refreshing.
at 5.5% alcohol,
Yeah.
which I think makes it really nice because you can like have more than one glass and not feel like woo.
No, but the flavors.
Yeah.
And, it's just
the flavor's just on point, and like I'm honestly like I haven't had a lot of Moscatos because I thought, oh, they're very sweet. I'm kind of just diving into them, but this one is like the balance is unreal. It's perfect, and it's only here.
Yeah,
You
so
can only
this
get
was
it here.
also, it's also important to enhance the concept of what you can find only here at Chateau.
Yeah.
So again, we produce 29 different wines, sometimes 30, 32, depending on the vintage. And it's important that when you come here, you experience some unique product. And that's why this we can even sell it online. It's only here. So if you come at the resort, at the Chateau, and you come in the tasting room, you can actually enjoy this, the red version of this, which is another
so
pretty...
you cannot buy this online. You have
No,
to
you have to
purchase
come
it
here.
here.
There are
at
specific
Chateau
wines
Winery.
that you can... Most of our wines are available online too,
Yeah.
but there are specifics like this one and other two, the pineapple sparkling wine from Tahiti, and the Dolce Rosso, which are only available.
Okay, like we're taking some of this home. You can only get it here, and I'm gonna want it on the regular, especially in the pool we just bought.
Yep. Okay, so you were talking about muscadine, and
Yeah.
obviously we're in Georgia right now,
Yes.
and muscadine is the
Yeah.
South.
Muscadine is the symbol of the viticulture and winemaking of the South, period. The amount of muscadine in the marketplace coming from the Southeast, including North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, is just unbelievable. Muscadine is sold throughout the whole United States. It's not an East Coast phenomenon. We have a lot of out-of-state clients that order wine online. By far, muscadine is the most ordered wine from Ohio, Illinois, California. Okay, so if there is something that changed and is going to change, is the perception of muscadine wine. People, if you start talking about it, people feel comfortable in liberally express their own taste. So all of a sudden, saying I like muscadine wine is not like, oh my god. All of a sudden, it's like, yeah, me too.
No longer a taboo.
Yeah, it's not.
No.
And the good thing is that it's not coming from an idea. It's not coming from a marketing idea of pushing muscadine. It's physiologically happening because muscadine is the best growing grapes of the South. And if you nail the good winemaking and if you respect the quality of the product itself, you're gonna get out with an unbelievable product. And that's what people are realizing it. It's actually good. So why don't say it?
Right. Right, and this is what we've been telling a lot of y'all on IG, like, don't always just base what you're drinking off of what other people are saying is the best quality. Don't just always base it off of a label, a price, etc. So much of it is in the taste, and I think just be willing to think outside the box and try some things that you normally wouldn't try. Try muscadine. We have tried his muscadine and we really, really liked it.
Yeah,
So
we're sold on it now.
yeah, I think just try to go outside your normal realm of thinking when it comes to wine.
Yeah, and also think about other side factors, such as if a grape is growing so well into a territory, that means that there is also less protection that the winery have to do in the vineyard. When I say protection, is spraying fungicide, insecticide, herbicide, pesticide. Okay, so vines, the plant of the vine is very sensitive to diseases. Georgia, such as the southeast or the east coast in general, it's very high pressure, high disease pressure because of the humidity and the rains,
Right.
okay, and the temperature. So in order to have a good quality product at the end, which is nothing but the cluster, you want to have perfect grapes, you have to protect your vines so they can produce it. And to protect your vine, you have to spray up to 16 times a year, okay? Now, everything is under the law, and so you don't spray things that you're not supposed to spray, but they're still called pesticide for a reason. So muscadine, because it's an adapted plant to the climate, doesn't need any spray.
Doesn't need any spray.
Like, period. And if you want to spray for something, you do it at the beginning of the season with product that completely disappear by the time 7 months later when the grapes is ready to be harvested. I told you guys that we are preparing ourselves to be certified organic, although we already are, but we are getting the certification. It takes 3 years. It wouldn't be so if there wasn't muscadine in our vineyard,
Right.
because we would just not produce grapes if you just let it go like this. So again, sustainability of muscadine, not only as a business plan because it sells a lot, but because it's sustainable farming in the vineyard.
Yeah.
So
seen that.
what he's saying, Chateau Elan wines are basically organic wines already. They're just going through the process of getting the certification, but they are already doing the steps
Yeah.
to make this wine organic.
They're not sprayed.
Yeah, so everybody that cares about organic wines, like, order this stuff online because it is organic, you know?
And one more thing that is already happening is that, and you will see it on the back of the label of our reserve, we stated a very low sulfite. So together with the sustainability in the vineyard, you have to match the sustainability of the process.
Right.
Right? So wine industry is a transformation industry. You take grapes, you make wine. One product, another completely different product. In this making, you can do a lot of stuff. You can add a lot of things that are by the law. But if you, like us, intervene the least possible, then you can make wine with almost zero sulfite, which is very important.
Yeah.
Because right now you Google sulfite and you find pages saying, oh, sulfite are fine. You're not actually allergic to sulfite. If I give you right now a glass of water with the same sulfite content in a classic wine, you would never drink that water because you would smell sulfite. In the wine, it gets blended. You
It
don't
gets blended,
smell
so you
it
don't
anymore.
smell it.
Yeah, but it's toxic, by the way. So, 350 ppm, which is part per million concentration, is the legal limit in US. We use up to 30. And in some wine, there is 0.
Wow.
And they are fine. So,
That's amazing.
you know, it's all about being, about experience, what you can do, getting out of the classic box,
Yeah.
and then convincing people by giving quality wine made in a different way.
Yeah.
Right.
And once you do it, it's done.
Right.
Now, you've been tasting this, now you know
Yeah.
what it means. And then
Yeah.
you have tasted Pinot Noir that you love.
Oh, I love
and
it.
that Pinot Noir has almost zero sulfite. So now you know
Zero?
that good wines, great wines, can be made without sulfite. And you can go back and say and change your mind. No, you taste it, you experience it, you know now. So that's what we're doing.
So I wanted to ask you this too. Is it true that like European wine is made with less sulfites than California?
No,
No?
it's not true. It's just it is a myth.
Yeah, because we've been told that and we've actually said that. So
It's a myth. It's again, I worked half of my career in Italy and half, maybe more than half now, in US. There are the same traditional winemaking style. They add sulfite in Italy and they add sulfite in California, or in Virginia, or in Georgia, etc. So my approach to sulfite is not the Italian approaches of in sulfite.
So when people say I get less headaches when I drink European wine, that's a placebo effect?
Sometimes, but sometimes it might be true because usually Italian wines are aged longer.
Okay.
So the active sulfite can actually decrease with the aging in the bottle.
That makes sense.
So when you drink older Italian wine, you have less chances of getting free sulfite up to your face.
Okay.
If you drink young wines, most American wines are young wines, then you have more chances of getting fresh.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
So that, and by the way, the headache effect, which everybody in the industry say is not the sulfite, it is the histamine, whatever. If you drink wine without sulfite or with a very low sulfite, unless you are allergic to something else, you will not have headache, period. So,
Interesting.
but it's changing, it's changing. You can see, like, even internally in the industry, you see all this webinar about what you can do in order to not adding sulfite. So it's coming. 10 years, 15 years from now,
Yeah.
it will be a very completely different
So,
approach.
one last question.
Yeah.
What is the wine currently that you're most passionate about on Chateau?
Yeah.
What's your favorite? What are you most passionate about? What do you want people to
try.
try?
So there is one winery, it's called the Mameli, M-A-M-E-L-I, okay? Okay? Mameli, you're gonna taste it.
Oh, we're gonna taste it.
Oh, we're gonna
That's
taste
cool.
it. So.
It is a blend of Italian variety. It's a fingerprint wine, so it's the top of the line, and it's a blend between Nebbiolo, Barbera, and Montepulciano, 3 Italian varieties that by themselves, Nebbiolo and Barbera are grown in the same region, so my region. So when I was 16 and working at the winery, at lunchtime, I had my tank over there, open the tank, get in the Barbera and the Nebbiolo and drink it for lunch.
Drink it for lunch.
16 is fine. And so there is a lot that brings me back to that place. When I
Right.
taste the wine, so
It's like a memory.
it's always an emotional connection as well when you're drinking wine.
Yeah.
And so, or not connection, maybe experience,
Yeah.
just an emotional experience, a mood experience. And so that is probably the one that gives me more pleasure
Okay.
and more comfort when I drink it. And so I like to drink Mameli a lot.
Okay. And
Yeah.
people can order that
Oh,
online?
yeah, they can
Okay.
order that online.
Okay.
It's pricey because it's part of the fingerprint collection. And when a wine is actually more expensive than another, typically is because it aged the longer time.
Right.
So the cost of aging is there. Think that in a 3 years time span in a barrel, you lose 10% of the barrel just in the air for evaporation. So that has a cost. And on top of it, you have to buy the barrels. So there is a lot that, and also the grapes have to be good, so they cost more. So there are real reasons why some wines cost more than others, and it doesn't mean that the quality is different. Such as this wine costs less than the Mameli. The quality is at the same level. The style is different. The style is what caused the cost to be higher.
Gotcha.
But allow yourself some time to spend a little bit more money and try what the different level is,
Yeah.
so you can actually learn a lot
Yeah,
more.
yeah. We've been learning that too.
Yep.
Yeah.
About the experience.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna wrap this part up. But yeah, thank you for talking to us.
Absolutely. It's
Simone.
my pleasure. Simone. Bye, guys.